Hey everyone, my name is Rebekah Jones and I am a candidate for Congress in Florida's 1st Congressional District, running against Matt Gaetz in the November 8th election. And today is Science Saturday, so I am here to bring you some information about an issue that's been in the press a lot recently here in the Florida Panhandle, and that is oyster and swimming safety and bacteria. So the most dangerous of these bacteria that you might encounter during this time of year is in the Vibrio family. It's called Vibrio vulnificus, and it's a bacteria that is naturally occurring in warm, brackish waters. So it lives in shellfish like oysters, which is a huge source of income and a huge part of the food culture of this area. It is also the most common cause of death for seafood ingestion deaths in the country. It makes up more than 95% of all seafood-related deaths. It's fatal to 25% of people who are infected through a cut or open wound in swimming in waters where it's present, and it's fatal to 50% of people who ingest it through food. And most people die within 48 hours of infection. It has no odor, it doesn't alter the taste or appearance, and obviously since it's a bacteria, you can't see it with your human eye without a microscope. So there's no way to know if something that you're eating has it. It also affects men a lot more than it does women, and that's probably because estrogen has been shown experimentally to provide protection, which is kind of interesting for women. If infected from a wound, vulnificus can cause something called necrotizing fasciitis. Necrosis is the death of cells in living tissue, so it causes your body to rot while you're still alive. If you're into gross and super disturbing photos of shocking diseases, you can Google necrotizing fasciitis, and if you're not into that kind of stuff, definitely don't look it up. But back to the big boy bacteria. So we get asked a lot about where it comes from and how global warming can impact it. Can you eat oysters safely in months without the letter R in them, which is an old wives' tale. And as I said before, it is naturally occurring, but like all naturally occurring bacteria, certain conditions can cause it to flare up. Two most important ingredients for Vibrio vulnificus are water temperature and water salinity. So Vibrio, this specific strain, really starts to multiply in the water column at 18 degrees Celsius, and it prolificates very well at temperatures above 25 degrees Celsius. So this is water temperature. The warmer the water, the more they flourish. Right now, there are water temperatures in the state of Florida and South Florida that are as high as 34 degrees Celsius, so 9 whole degrees higher than its ideal temperature rate. And the whole only eat oysters in months with the letter R in it, it's September, and it's one of the second most, if not the most now, dangerous months to eat raw oysters, which you shouldn't do anyways. The bacteria also prefer brackish coastal waters with lower salinity. So as oceanic temperatures continue to rise and salinity decreases, whether from a lot of rainfall or diversion of fresh water from one area to another into a coastal environment, this is when they flourish. Vibrio vulnificus is also related to another Vibrio bacteria that you've probably heard of, cholera. So the famous 1854 London outbreak of cholera, which was traced to feces contamination, mostly of 2 public wells, kind of revolutionized our modern epidemiology and our understanding of disease. If you want to learn more about that, there's a great book out there by Stephen Johnson called The Ghost Map. So thank a geographer for all this wonderful information. Avoid eating oysters for this period of time, especially raw seafood or undercooked seafood. It can be different. Vibrio vulnificus is one of many different types of bacteria, but it's the one you definitely don't want to play with. So stay safe and stay smart and go science.